Howdy and welcome to Rauta's Saturday opinion video. To be honest, about 5 minutes ago that is, I was ready to do a video about totally something else. But I'll postpone it because this is a topic that came to me like twice today in a matter of a few hours from two different people from two different areas and all that stuff. The thing is, reviews and review scores. Why should we have them? Why shouldn't we have them? Now, this was later on brought to me once again on Rauta's Discord server. Welcome to that, by the way, in case you want some like-minded chat about metal and whatever. But, the talk was about why certain people take a look at review scores rather than, actually figuring out what's being said on the review. I know this is an age-old discussion, and I probably touched the subject too many times already, but it's once again running in my head. The other talk about review scores actually came from my boss. That is my daytime boss, nothing related to Rauta. And we had this very brief discussion why review scores are so important. So are they mandatory and are they important or are they not? That's an age-old discussion, and the answer would totally depend on the person answering the very question. For example, if we ask this from a say label point of view, they would say review scores definitely needed. The bigger the company, I guess I could safely say, the more likely it is that they actually want these review scores. There's so many ways in different areas in the world, whether we're talking about technology, movies, music, etc., gaming, books, it doesn't really matter. People want simple review scores. It can be like percentage, like from 0 or 1 to 100. It can be from 1 to 10, including 0 some cases. It could be something like 1 to 5 star system, 1 to 7. There are so many ways to giving ratings. Some American ones use kind of a school rating, like where A is the best shit out there, and I guess F means failure or something. But it doesn't really matter. Wherever you go, you can see different kind of rating systems, and then there's sites such as Metascore, Meta Rating. What the hell is? I'm just wondering, losing my mind here. Anyway, there are so many ways, and you can just figure out these ratings, and Metascore site actually translates all these to a kind of a percentage scale. If you give it like 8 out of 10, they will say it's 80%. If you give 4 out of 5, it's going to be 80%, etc. So these then again are blended in and, given the overall score based on different values and different ratings, and, more or less given the idea that what's the average score. Say if you have like 2 40%, and then you have 2 80%, and then there's 1 60%, well, the overall score will be like 60%. That's kind of a given. Basic, very, very basic mathematics. And for people, people are simple in the sense that they want their solutions nice and easy. That's why fast food chains are so popular. You just drive your car. Hey, I want to get some hamburger. Give me a Big Mac and fries and a Coke. Thank you. All simple. You just drive there, get your food, eat it. You don't have to worry about like what kind of ingredients you want to have there. Do you want something side dish, blah, blah, blah. You just either get like a basic size or a big size. That's how it works. People also want to take a look at these review scores like, hey, I'm trying to figure out if this Moonspell album, is it good? I don't want to read this wall text. I don't want to listen to that bald-headed guy telling me if this album is good. I want to go with the numbers. So people are like, okay, this baby just got 4 out of 5. It's going to be good. Maybe not excellent, maybe not the best of the year. Hey, it's only 4 out of 5, not 5 out of 5. But, people want these simple answers. They might not care why do you say it's 4 out of 5. They just want to know, is it worth your money? People are busy. They don't have the time to read multiple reviews or listen to some podcast or video, whatever. They want straight to the point. Like, I always get this kind of like off-roading and I talk way too much. That's the good and bad side of the channel. People who are not interested or don't have the time to listen me blathering, it's okay. Just do them something else then. Figure out some other reviews or whatever. This is not a channel for the people who are really, really busy and who don't want that, extra fat, that extra bacon on their burgers. People who just want their burgers quick and nice, they go for fast food. I'm not the fast food guy, except sometimes when I'm busy. No, that's the point aside. The thing here is, there's two ways to basically go, and that is without score or without it. Now the cons and pros for both are quite simple as well. So I would say this video gets 4 out of 5 because of that very reason. Notice the irony. Alright, fair enough. First, the pros of review scores. They're kind of straightforward and simple. Really, by quick look, the glance, you already know whether or not that given thing, whatever it is, album or whatever, whether it's good. I mean, if it gets 4 or 5 out of 5, I'm gonna keep it simplified, like with 1 to 5. It's worth probably checking out, or at least you want to read or hear what's being said, because, I mean, if it's 5 out of 5, it must be something spectacular, right? Now, that's kind of a given. Also, if it gets 1 out of 5, you're probably like wondering why the hell it is so bad that it gets only 1. But who cares about like 3 out of 5? Even 2 out of 5s might be like, I don't know, man. But if it's 1 out of 5, it must be really bad, which then again triggers your interest. This is kind of a basic psychology, and so many people understand this. You want to read about the horrible, crushing reviews as much as those spectacular ones. Maybe even more so when it comes 1 out of 5 versus 5 out of 5. But everything in the middle, not so much interesting. And even if we scale up, say 1 to 100, who gives a damn if some review gets like 58% or 43 or something like that, 63 and half. I mean, nobody gives a damn, basically. But if it's like 98%, you're like, wow, this must be an album of the century or something like that, really close to it. Or if a review would get like 5 out of 100, it must be really, really bad. Like, hey, how low can you really go? Anyway, the basic thing here for pros and cons is, pro side. Review score, simple, nice and easy, doesn't consume your time, you're good to go. You don't even have to review or listen to the particular review. Just know it's good because it's got like 80%. Now the downside is, people don't really read or listen to the review, because why would you bother? You have already there. Okay, some people who actually want to find your reasoning for that. Why was this reviewer guy giving that 90%? I mean, you want to know, right? You want to know whether it's about songwriting. Is it because of great production? Maybe some guest vocalist doing some phenomenal job. Just on top of that, everything is just nice and solid and all that stuff. And also you want to know the reasoning why somebody would get like 10 out of 100 or that 1 out of 5. It doesn't really matter. You want to know what's so bad, and that's why you want to read it. If it was just a review with the wall of text or like some 5 or 10 minutes video or podcast about something, you wouldn't know it beforehand whether or not it is good. And that's why you want to know these scores. But so many people just want to skip it. I mean, why would you waste your time on that 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5? It's boring. Already it's not worth your time. So why would you do it? Now, the pro side of not having a score is that you actually have to kind of read or listen to that particular review, because after all, you just can't put it into a number and then you have all figured it out. Like, think about people, where everybody knows that even people can be reviewed by a score. You see a really hot person, doesn't matter what the genre is, but if you know there's a 10 out of 10, everybody's gonna like, holy smoke, I had a couple of extra heartbeats here, like, is that even real? Is that even possible? Or if it's the ugliest person in the world, they're like, holy crap, I don't want my kids to see that person. They're gonna die out of, heart attack or, scared to death. So, you can't just give reviews to everything. But how much is that to give them, the worth if you just decide the person like, that's an 8, that's a 6, that's it. Doesn't really matter like what he or she or whatever is thinking, saying, like Can this ugly person make, I don't know, cool jokes? Can he be really smart? Let's take in a person called Stephen Hawking. Not the most beautiful person in the world if you take a look at his looks in his wheelchair. But he was probably 11 out of 10 smart person. So giving the review score only based on his look, that is putting himself into this number just because what you see, it's kind of a dumb thing. I mean, it's like, hey, I'm gonna review this album. Looks stupid. 2 out of 5. Next. And same like that. Now does that CD fall into the wrong department? I have to actually pick it up. So, without review scores, the con is you actually have to read. You actually have to listen like what's going on. And that's where your brain actually starts working. So basically, when you don't have that number and the thing is already chewed up for you, you actually have to do some, brain work, which is, I guess, good for everybody. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the dumbest person on earth or the smartest person on earth. If you have your brain going on, you give it a little bit gas pedal and actually start reading or listening and actually understand what's being said. Good for you. It's an everybody wins situation. Now the downside is, which I guess I already explained, it can be time consuming. What if you spend, say, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes on a review and then you end up figuring out, hey, this is not my cup of tea. That album is not worth my time. Why did I spend 8 minutes reading or listening about this stuff? Because now I know I don't want to spend it. Could I have just instead been listening to the album for 8 minutes? Could I have actually been watching this movie for 30 minutes and figuring out, hey, it's not my cup of tea. So why would I actually, read the review? Why would I actually now spend my time on that? Now, with music, it's kind of a given. Yeah, you don't really need reviews for the actual criticism, because by the time you have already read about something, you could have been spending your time to listen to that. Then again, you don't really then account to the news value. How about listening to an album you don't even know about? And that's where review scores don't matter at all. If you don't know about the next 10 out of 10 album, in case you don't know about it, how can you listen to it? And that's where reviews come in, with or without score. So, in my opinion, there is no clear answer whether review scores are good or bad. I mean, I've been liking review scores as many years I've been able to read. I mean, I like that simple version. But then again, at the same time, I also usually want to read or listen to this particular review. And it gets even more complicated when there is visual aspect. That's why I do unboxing, and that's why I want to present you like what's inside this album, what comes out if I remove the contents from here and all that stuff. That's part of the deal here. That's why, I want to show you something, because otherwise, why would you watch a video? Why would you even listen to it? Because you can just pretty much read it or just listen to the music. And the same goes when we're talking about movies, TV series, games especially. You get to see those different components. Music, the graphics, the gameplay, and all that stuff. That's where, especially gaming-wise, it becomes so important. But music-wise, you could just, do so Twitter style. Poor man's black metal. 5 out of 10. Next. Really simple. But would that really even justify of, doing those reviews? I mean, like, why would you even spend hours on listening to something and then put it in the tweet of 140 characters and that's it? Really doesn't make really sense to me. So once again, from label point of view, you want to know whether it's good. You want to get some catchphrase, this is the best album to come out of this year, blah blah, 8 out of 10. Makes sense. It's really simple. You can stick it as a sticker on the CD, boom, sell it, and people are like, hey, this interesting review person gave this nice score. There's just this selling point thing here. That's why they do even stickers like, hey, Fenris of Dark Throne said this is the best hard rock album from 20th century. You want to do that just to look, hey, it's Fenris. If he likes his hard rock album, I must like it too. I don't usually like hard rock, but I mean, I'm a black metal head, but it's Fenris, the black metal king. If he's a good album, I must buy it. Now, kind of makes sense, and then again, it doesn't. But also, you have to remember, it's not like reviews are done with labels or bands first and foremost. Obviously, it's a game where everybody wins if things go properly. If label gets a good score, they're like, yay, we released something really good. It's going to boost our sales. The band is like, yay, somebody likes our music and it's that dude or dudette. If an audience finds that album because like, yeah, I read about this thing and this review person said it's fantastic. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to buy it. That person also wins. And what about the reviewer? Well, I guess he or she can be satisfied that, yay, somebody actually watched or read their goddamn review. I personally get a lot of good feeling if I find a good album, then do a positive review of it, and then somebody then, picks it up and buys it. It's all good to me. The rest, I don't really know. So, back to the original question once again, some, 50 minutes later. Review scores, they are as important as they are to the individual, and they are as futile as they can be to a certain audience. Lots of talk about very simple topic. I don't know. Really, what's your take on it? Review scores, should we have them on Rauta or should we have not? I don't know why I'm using different fingers. Vote. Basically, I could do review scores here in the end if that was something that people actually want to. But if you're cool without them, that's fine with me also. Give me an idea and should we just incorporate that idea here or not? And let me know. Thanks for watching if you actually made this far. Now go have a good weekend and see you again next week. Oh, sorry, no, forget, tomorrow. Classic album of the month.